You ever stumble across a story online that just gets under your skin? One that starts out pretty simple, but then it just spirals into something deeply, deeply unsettling? Well, today we're breaking down one of those. It's a viral Hindi horror story that's part crime thriller, part ghost story, and a whole lot to say about the nature of revenge.
So our story starts in one city.
with a whole bunch of auto rickshaw drivers just disappearing.
And at the dead center of it all, one single solitary woman.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Every good mystery has a pattern, right? A rhythm that the police just can't seem to crack. And the one at the heart of this story is just chillingly precise. So the police are basically stumped. The victims are always auto drivers. They only ever vanish on a Saturday night, and the only clue they ever find is the driver's empty auto, parked right outside this creepy abandoned bungalow called Silverleaf. It's basically a ghost story just waiting to be told.
Our story really zooms in on one of these Saturday nights, and we follow an auto driver who is, let's be honest, a predator. He isn't out there looking for a fare, he's hunting for a victim, and he thinks he's just found the perfect one.
His plan is disgustingly simple. He's driving this woman home, he overhears her on the phone and realizes she's going to be alone. Then he spots that she's accidentally left her phone in his auto. Bingo. That's his excuse. He's going to go back, pretend to return it, and the moment she opens the door, he and a friend will force their way in to assault and rob her. In his mind, he's the hunter. She's the prey.
And this is where the whole story just flips on its head. Every single move the driver thought was his own clever plan was actually her setting a trap. He thought he was using the phone to get inside? No, she left it as bait. He thought he was isolating his victim? She was actually isolating him. He is walking into a trap, and he is the only one who has no idea.
So the driver gets in the house, knife out, ready to make his move. He hears water running upstairs and follows the sound to a bathroom, thinking he's got her cornered. Oh man, he could not be more wrong. He pushes the door open, and this is what he sees. The smell of rot hits him, and he sees a bathtub filled with 8 to 10 dead bodies, all of them wearing the same auto driver uniform he's wearing right now. In a split second, all that predatory confidence just shatters into pure terror. And before he can react, the woman shoves him inside and bolts the door. Now, this isn't just a locked room. It's a custom-built hell. He tries to call his friend for help, but a corpse that was slumped under a table suddenly lurches to life, snatches his phone, and swallows it whole. His only connection to the outside world is gone. The woman on the other side of the door is just toying with him, 1 second pretending to help, the next ramming a sharp shovel through the door, nearly taking his head off. This is her world, and she makes all the rules. Just when he thinks it's all over, his friend, Raju, actually shows up. He hears the screams and comes running. For just a tiny moment, you think maybe there's a chance, but that hope gets snuffed out immediately. The woman attacks Raju and brutally murders him right there in the hallway.
And the cruelty of it is just breathtaking. She doesn't just kill him, she savors it. As he's bleeding out, she actually cradles his head in her lap, stroking his hair and sings this soft, sweet lullaby. Sleep, my prince. This horrifying mix of tenderness and absolute brutality tells you everything. She's not just a ghost anymore, she's a monster.
So the big question is, why? Why is all of this happening? Why this house? Why auto drivers? Well, trapped in that room with the dead, our driver is about to find the answer in a diary he finds in the hands of one of the other corpses.
The diary belonged to a man named Mahesh Satarkar. Now, he wasn't a predator like our protagonist, he was a journalist. He'd actually figured out the whole pattern of disappearances and went undercover as a driver to investigate. He got his story, all right, and it cost him his life.
And in his diary is the ghost's origin story. Her name was Shamala Deshmukh. This was her house. Months ago, on a Saturday night, her scooter broke down, so she took an auto home. The driver used the exact same forgotten phone trick to get her to open the door. He and a friend then attacked her, robbed her, and left her tied up in that very bathtub to die a slow, agonizing death.
And that's when you see the horrifying symmetry of it all. Shamala's ghost isn't just killing randomly. She has become a dark mirror of her own murder. She uses the same lure, the same location, the same night of the week. She's turned the very method of her own death into her eternal weapon.
Reading all this, the driver finally understands. He's not just in some haunted house, he's on a conveyor belt of vengeance. And the only possible way off is to somehow survive until next Saturday,
when the cycle is set to repeat.
So his goal changes. It's not about escape anymore. It's about endurance. He has to survive for 7 days with no food, no water. And pushed to the absolute brink, the man who walked in there as a predator is forced to do the unthinkable to survive. He starts eating the flesh of the dead men around him.
Saturday night finally rolls around. Just like the diary predicted, the ghost lures another driver to the house. The plan is simple. When the new guy opens the bathroom door, they'll both make a run for it. But Shyamala is always one step ahead. She lets the new driver open the door, then kicks him inside and locks it again. The plan is a total failure. Now they're both trapped.
With both men trapped, the ghost makes her final, twisted offer to our protagonist. She's not interested in their fear anymore. She wants their soul. She whispers through the door, "Kill the auto driver in front of you, and I will let you go."
Faced with an eternity of that hell or a single act of murder, he makes his choice. He kills the innocent newcomer. The door swings open. He stumbles out, free. But the story's final gut punch is that freedom was never really on the table. He's now cursed or possessed or something, and he's doomed to become her new instrument, an auto driver who will forever lure new victims back to that house just to feed her endless cycle of revenge.
And that leaves us with a really haunting question. Shyamala was a victim, and she sought revenge. But in her rage, she became a monster who now preys on others, even innocent ones, and turns people into killers to serve her cause. So is this revenge justice, or has it just become another never-ending, bloody cycle?